Hello students, myself Bhagyashree Lakshman Halankar from PESC's RSN College of Arts and Science, Pharmakudi, Ponda, Goa. You are going to learn the properties of enzymes part 2 from unit 4 enzymes. This unit is from course code BOC 104 and course title Plant Physiology. The outline of the module is thermolabile property of enzymes, enzyme sensitivity to pH, colloidal nature of enzymes and effect of enzyme inhibitors. At the end of the module, you will learn to explain the thermolabile nature of enzymes, describe the effect of hydrogen ion concentration and inhibitors on enzyme, and describe the colloidal property of enzymes. Let us learn the properties of enzymes. As you all know, enzymes are biological catalysts. They catalyze biochemical reactions in a cell. They either break down the larger molecule into smaller molecules or they join two smaller molecules to form a larger molecule. Nearly all enzymes are proteins except for ribozyme, which is a RNA molecule. Enzymes are characterized by different properties. This includes catalytic property, reversibility action, specificity, enzyme inhibitors action, colloidal nature of enzymes, pH sensitivity and heat sensitivity. Out of this, catalytic property, reversibility action and specificity is already covered in the properties of enzymes part 1. Let us learn the remaining properties of enzymes. The first one is the heat sensitivity or thermolabile nature. Enzymes are known to be thermolabile, that is, in a liquid medium, majority of the enzymes are denatured at high temperature, that is, in between 60 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Celsius. Enzymes require an optimum temperature. The temperature at which the substance shows the maximum activity is called optimum temperature. As enzymes are protein compounds, a temperature more than optimum may alter the molecular structure of the enzymes. Enzymes can function over a range of temperature, but all of them have their own optimum temperature. For example, enzymic activity in higher plants range between 24 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. They become inactive at freezing temperatures and get denatured at 50 degrees Celsius to 55 degrees Celsius. In the human body, they function best at about 37 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, wherein 37 degrees Celsius is the body temperature of the human being. Enzymes of thermophilic bacteria can function at very high optimum temperature, whereas the enzymes of thermal algae remain functional even at 80 degrees Celsius. The enzymes of dry tissues like seeds and spores can endure still higher temperature of about 100 degrees Celsius to 120 degrees Celsius. A temperature difference of 10 degrees Celsius has become a standard that is used to measure the temperature sensitivity of a biological function. This value is called as temperature quotient, which is expressed as Q10. The rate of enzyme action increases 2 to 3 times with the rise in temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. Raising the temperature increases the kinetic energy of the molecules of enzyme and substrate. That in turn increases the rate of formation of enzyme-substrate complex. Increase in the rate of formation of enzyme-substrate complex increases the rate of formation of the product, which continues till the optimum temperature. Beyond optimum temperature, rate of enzyme activity decreases. Increase in temperature increases the vibrations of the atoms in the enzymes. Beyond the optimum temperature, the vibrations are so violent that they break the hydrogen bonds that hold the three-dimensional structure of the enzymes, due to which the enzymes gets disrupted. In the figure, you can see the effect of temperature on reaction rate. As the temperature increases, the rate of activity of enzyme also increases up to the optimum temperature. But beyond the optimum temperature, the enzymes get denatured and the enzymatic activity decreases or falls rapidly. At higher temperature, the enzyme loses its shape and the active site, due to which the enzymes get denatured and the substrate cannot bind to the active site of the enzyme. The second property of enzyme is the pH sensitivity. The pH or the hydrogen ion concentration affects the efficiency of an enzyme. It is related to the degree of dissociation of enzyme and to the electric charge of the enzyme through which it affects the formation of the enzyme substrate complex. Each enzyme acts best in certain pH value which is specific to it. The pH at which the enzyme shows maximum activity is called optimum pH. The activity will fall off on either side of this value. In many enzymes, the value of optimum pH depends on many factors such as the nature of the buffer system, the presence of other colloids, activators and inhibitors, the age of the cell tissue, the nature of the substrate and the ratio of enzyme substrate concentration. The figure shows the pH optima for various enzymes. Like for example, pepsin shows optimum pH in highly acidic condition. Invertase, lipase, amylase shows the optimum pH in the acidic condition which is in between 4.5 to 4.7. Whereas catalase shows maximum activity in the neutral pH. Adenosine triphosphate and arginase shows the maximum activity in the alkaline pH. So, each enzyme acts best in a certain pH value which is specific to it. Let us learn the third property of enzyme, that is the colloidal nature of enzymes. Colloids are the gel-like substances. Enzyme molecules are of giant size. The molecular weight of enzyme ranges from 12,000 to over 1 million Dalton. They are very large compared with the substrate or the functional group they act upon it. Being larger in size, the enzyme molecules possess extremely low rate of diffusion and form the colloidal system. Being colloidal in nature, they provide large surface area for catalytic reaction. They are non-dialyzable, although some dialyzable or dissociable components in the form of coenzyme are also found. In the figure, you can see the relative dimension of the medium-sized enzyme molecule and the substrate molecule, and the same is being compared with the dimensions of the water molecule. The third property of enzyme is the enzyme inhibitors. Any chemical compound which retards or blocks the phenomenon of enzyme catalysis are called enzyme inhibitors. Enzyme inhibitors includes the narcotics such as phenyl-urethane or inorganic poisons such as the salts of heavy metals like silver, zinc, copper, lead and cadmium. These compounds partially or completely inhibit the activity of enzyme. In some cases, it is found that the product of the reaction inhibit the enzyme activity. For example, malonate is the product of Krebs cycle which inhibits the activity of succinate dehydrogenase which participate in the Krebs cycle. It is assumed that these substances are absorbed by enzymes and they either occupy the active site or chemically combine with the enzymes. The enzyme inhibitors are of two types: the competitive inhibitors and the non-competitive inhibitors. The competitive inhibitors are structurally analogous to the substrate molecule, because of which these inhibitors compete with the substrate molecule for the active site of the enzyme. The active site of the enzyme is occupied by the inhibitor molecule. For example, in the catalysis of succinic acid into fumaric acid, succinic acid dehydrogenase participate in this reaction. The structure of the succinic acid is similar to the inhibitor malonic acid. So, when there is a malonic acid present in the medium, the active site of the succinic dehydrogenase is occupied by the malonic acid and succinic acid does not reach the active site of the enzyme. And this inhibits the activity of the succinic dehydrogenase. Competitive inhibition is of reversible type because removal of the inhibitor restores the activity of the enzyme. It is being also found that the addition of more substrate molecules to the system can overcome the inhibition. These additional substrate molecules favorably compete with the inhibitor molecule for the active site of the enzymes. Enzymes are, however, less sensitive to the inhibitors in the presence of its substrate or its products. The second type of inhibitor is a non-competitive inhibitor. Non-competitive inhibitor is not structurally similar to the substrate molecule. because of which it does not bind the active site of the enzyme, but it binds to the some other site of the enzyme. Because of the binding of the non-competitive inhibitor to the enzyme, it causes a conformational change in the structure of the enzyme and inactivates the enzyme. For example, the metallic ions like magnesium, cadmium, silver and lead binds to the sulfhydryl group of the enzyme, inactivates the enzyme, due to which the substrate molecule cannot bind to the enzyme. This type of inhibition is of irreversible type. These are the references which are being used for the preparation of the module. Thank you.